Today, I'll be sharing with you guys my story on how I saved $100,000 in just 2.5 years. I'll cover how I was able to cut down on spending, as well as 5 money mindsets you should have so that saving becomes more effortless. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gabrielle, and for those who are new to my channel, I am a tax manager at one of the big 4 accounting firms. And here on my channel, I like to talk about everything money and career related. And today I'll be sharing with you guys how I managed to save $100,000 in around 2.5 years. Everybody's savings journey is going to look different. There are so many different factors to savings, such as your salary, cost of living in a particular city, your lifestyle, and on and on. For my particular case, such as living in Vancouver, the salary is lower than other parts of Canada, whereas the cost of living is extremely expensive. Other cities in Canada, such as Toronto, actually pays 10 to 30% higher salary, but have similar or lower cost of living compared to Vancouver. Regardless, I'll be sharing with you guys how I was able to save $100,000 and how I actually made the bulk of my savings after moving halfway across the world to Korea. After graduating from university in 2014, I jumped right into my career. At the time, the starting salary was extremely low compared to the expensive cost of living in Vancouver, and it was difficult to save, to say the least. On top of that, I had $30,000 in student loans to pay off, so I had dedicated whatever I could save to paying off my student debt and lifting it off my shoulders. I was able to pay it off in just 2.5 years, and by that time, my salary had increased as I got promoted to a senior associate at the firm. However, I had always knew I wanted to work in a different country. I took advantage of the connections of the Big 4 firm that I was working in and managed to land an international secondment to a network firm in Korea. And if you want to learn more about how I managed to do that, I will also link my video here on the opportunities I made at the Big 4. This is where my true savings journey started. If you guys like what you're watching so far, don't forget to hit the like button down below, as that would really help me out. And now I'll be jumping into how I was able to spend less and save more. Moving to Korea was one of the best decisions I have ever made. Not only was I able to experience something once in a lifetime, such as lots of traveling with all the security of a job, having a salary, and having moving expenses paid for, but it also made sense financially. During the course of 2.5 years, I was able to save up the bulk of my first $100,000 because of a number of different reasons that just coincided. The very first reason is higher salary. I was paid a higher salary across the board when I was working in Korea. The network firm that I was seconded to was the dominant accounting firm in Korea and provided very competitive salaries. On top of that, they provide additional payments such as big bonuses. The bonuses there are around 15 to 20% of your regular salary, which is huge, as well as severance payments when you quit, which is equivalent to 1 month of salary accumulated per year of service. And I've even know of people who, quit their job with $60,000 in severance. So this is a big portion of your salary as well. I was also extremely lucky in that the firm was going through some changes at the time and had implemented salary increases during the 2 years I was there. So all the stars aligned for me, and I was able to get a much higher salary than what I was getting in Canada. Additionally, Korea has a low tax rate compared to Canada, which is known to have one of the highest tax rates in the world for individuals. So I was actually able to take home a higher after-tax pay compared to Canada. Last but not least, Korea had a favorable currency exchange rate to Canada at the time. So I was actually able to convert what I earned to a higher Canadian dollar at the end of the day. All of this attributed to higher income. In terms of spending less, Korea has overall lower cost of living compared to Canada. Compared to the money that I was making, I was also able to spend less because Korea had lower cost of living. For example, rent. I was paying around $750 in rent plus utilities in Korea. Compare that to, let's say, $1,600 for the same space in Vancouver. I'm already saving more than 50% in rent. Though keep in mind that the rental system in Korea is quite different, and so while the rent might be a little bit cheaper, they actually require a bigger deposit of more than $10,000, which you actually get back at the end of the lease. Another area that I was able to really decrease my spending on was eating out. What might seem like a luxury spending in Vancouver is not the case in Korea. In Vancouver, eating out can be quite expensive since a standard meal could be, $20 plus tax of 12% plus tip of 10 to 20%. And the thing I liked about eating out in Korea is that, first of all, there are lots of good options for low prices, and meals would range from, let's say, like $5 to $10. Also, tax is included in the price already, so it's not misleading in terms of how much you're paying. And lastly, there is no tip culture in Korea. Another area where I was able to spend less were goods and services. Generally, most things in Korea are cheaper compared to Canada. So for example, if I wanted to get a plate set off of Coupang, which is the Korean equivalent to Amazon, I could get a decent quality for, let's say, $20. If I were to get a similar set of plates off of Amazon in Canada, I would pay $50. Sure, maybe the ones from Canada might be better quality, but unless they are fancy plates that I'm using for guests, plates are plates. I'm still using the same plates that I bought in Korea, which I ended up shipping back to Canada when I moved here. All of these cost savings plus the money mindsets I had, which I'll be talking more about in just a little bit, really made a difference in how much I was able to save and the rate I was saving. Not only was all the savings enough to cover my traveling expenses, which was my main reason for moving to Korea, but it also helped me save towards my first $100,000. If you also dream of working in another country, comment down below where in the world you would like to work. Also, stay tuned for 5 money mindsets to have so that saving for you could become more effortless. I talked about the situational factors of why I was able to save more because I had higher income and lower expenses, but the real reason why I was able to save was because of my mindset. I could have easily had lifestyle inflation where I could have been buying designer handbags or living in a nicer apartment. However, those were not my priorities, and instead, I decided to focus on what was important to me. The first mindset is to not waste. I do not like buying new things before finishing up whatever I have. So for example, I go to the grocery store once a week on Sunday, and by the time Saturday comes rolling around the following week, I literally have nothing in my fridge. Another example is for skincare. I only have like 1 or 2 cleansers, toners, moisturizers max at any time, and I don't really buy a new one until I have used up every last drop of what I already have. I do this because of 2 main reasons. First of all, it forces me to use up what I originally spent my money on, so I realize the full value of that product. Second, it reduces waste and it prevents me from buying multiple products of the same thing. So it prevents me from having like 10 moisturizers because that's unnecessary. And also moisturizers expire. So you might not even end up using all of it and throwing out a bunch before actually finishing it. Mindset number 2, do I really need it? Before buying everything my eye catches or buying on impulse, I question myself if it's something that I really need in my life. If there is something I want to buy, even if it's a new $20 plate set, I save it to my cart and I brew it over for a few days. If I still believe it's something that would make my life easier, if it's something I'll use every day and get lots of uses out of, and the cost is reasonable and within my means, I will make the purchase then. Mindset number 3, finding good deals. I'm always on the hunt for good deals. I always compare prices and buy things when they're cheaper. So for example, if I'm making a big purchase like a laptop, I'll track the prices and wait until a new version comes out so that I could benefit off the discounted older version. And this is exactly what I did when I was buying my current laptop. It was originally more than $2,000, but I ended up getting it for just over $1,000. I was also known among my friends in Korea for getting good deals like $15 manicures. There are also a lot of good discount apps out there. I like to use Tmon when I was in Korea or Groupon and Honey in Canada. Essentially, you could get these products or services for heavily discounted prices, and it's always a good idea to do a quick search on the web for similar products or services that are on sale. Mindset number 4. Focusing on the basics. Instead of spending too much money on distractions, I like to focus on the basics. When I was in my early 20s, I remember spending hundreds of dollars on trendy clothes and expensive makeup from Sephora. By all means, I like to buy nice things, but now I prioritize spending money on achieving the best me instead. What I mean by this is that I rather spend money on skincare for clearer skin, fitness for a stronger body, and higher quality food for a healthier body. Now I only have the essentials for makeup or clothes, and I honestly don't even remember the last time I went shopping for them. Mindset number 5, save up for what really matters. I save wherever I can, but I'm not shy about spending on things that really matter to me. I personally love traveling, so I set aside a budget for just that. For example, I had saved up $10,000 to go traveling Europe with my mom in October of 2019. There are so many things that you could buy with $10,000, but the value I derive from that $10,000 was just beyond monetary value. Not only was I able to create lifelong memories with my mom, I was also able to enrich my mind and body through new experiences and cultures. And looking back, the price tag on that travel experience was priceless since the pandemic hit just 4 months after coming back, and then the whole world was in lockdown. If you guys enjoyed my video today, it would really mean a lot to me if you guys could hit that like and subscribe button down below, as well as don't forget to hit the notification button so that you can be updated on any future videos that I post. If you guys enjoyed my video today, you guys will also enjoy my other video on how I save 75% of my income, which I'll link right here. So feel free to check that out. If you guys stayed until the very end, thank you so much for watching my video today, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!